Okay, wonderful. Hi, good evening, everybody. Uh, so, I'm founder, CEO from Global Bees. We're known by various names, House of Brands, Aggregator, Therapy of India. But essentially, I think to demystify what does Global Bees stand for. Uh, so the whole idea around Global Bees started about a couple of years ago when Supam, who's my co-founder and also founder of First Cry, uh, which said while India is generating a lot of demand ecosystem, you look at Amazon's, Flipkart, D2C websites, and so on and so forth, India's supply side ecosystem was still fairly fragmented. And then on another side, we also saw large pool of entrepreneurs, and there is a great VC PE ecosystem which is supporting this pool of entrepreneurs. But we also found out that it wasn't enough. There was certain requirement and there's certain need uh, for the entrepreneurs or the companies to be funded, which was well-rounded, and we heard Gopal sir talking about what they look at. But that left a large part of India and large part of entrepreneur ecosystem, uh, which we felt was fairly capable uh, to build, to bring products, to bring innovation, to bring products to the consumer. And they were doing great and profitable businesses. So I said, why don't we build an ecosystem to support these entrepreneurs and create that supply side which could which could empower these companies to build a large ecosystem and reach the customers. And that was the origination of Global Bees. So essentially, we as a company invest with entrepreneurs. Most of these entrepreneurs would have a journey who have built great businesses with their own capital, have never taken external capital. And these are large businesses. We were surprised when we looked at these businesses. These businesses span from 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 crores, 150 crores. And they were running great businesses. But at every size of the business, they were facing challenges which they didn't know how to solve. And as Global Bees, what we created is a large digital ecosystem where we not only bring capital, but we create a ecosystem which starts from market research, building a supply chain platform, building a marketing platform, building a sourcing platform, and then work with these great entrepreneurs to scale their customer insight, to scale their product innovation. And that's what we do. So over the last 14 months that we've been in existence, we've invested in over 26 companies. That's what we do. And that model is what called to be House of Brands, aggregator, etc. But essentially, if you look at a journey of entrepreneur, every entrepreneur starts with a very passionate product focus. He thinks about a customer insight. He thinks about the product. We heard Ankur as well. And as you build a company, you realize that more than the product and more than the customer insight, you start spending 80, 90% of your time actually doing everything else you don't love. A simple thing like filing your taxes, GST registrations, taking warehouse registrations, EPF, PF, hundreds of things. And you start spending less and less time on customer and the product. So as Global Bees, what we would do with entrepreneurs is we've built this great ecosystem, which is a tech platform. We've built our supply chain platform. Today, we are the largest independent company in terms of a consumer company in terms of our supply chain network. We operate out of over 180 warehouses in this country, which is a fairly massive and colossal compliance overhead. And then we take these products from the entrepreneurs and help them distribute evenly across whether it's their website, whether it's offline distribution, whether it's Amazon, Myntra, Nykaa, Flipkart, Shopsy, Udan, Moglix, Pododamis, few others, I'm sure I missed a lot of them. And we believe this ecosystem is now what we are taking to international marketplaces. To be able to take these great innovation and great products out of this country, out of these entrepreneurs who would typically come from tier 2 with great ability to manufacture products to the world, and our ability with that infrastructure to be able to take these products and show to the world. So it's a marriage of, on one side, an entrepreneur who loves customers and products, and other side, the operational scale of Global Bees. So it's like a pseudo venture capital, but an operating capital. That's literally what we do. So how did our thinking in terms of building this house of brands occur? And it's not new. I mean, if you come to think of it, we have seen a lot of industries where roll-up happened. Even Unilever has acquired a lot of brands themselves. But it's been common in BPO industry. It's been common in software services industry. It's been common in a lot of industries. I think the important aspect for us is realizing our own strength. We chose our sector. We built our categories. We did our research in the categories, built the infrastructure for that categories, and then we went out looking for entrepreneurs who would complement our strengths. Rather than saying, we'll just go out and kind of acquire any revenue in every business. For us, the important aspect has always been, how do we complement each other? Because it's only then you can make 1 + 1 = 11. Otherwise, it will always lead to conflict. So our mantra has always been, how do we partner with the ecosystem, partner with the entrepreneurs? And for that, I think the few learnings that we've had during this journey. Number one, before you go out in the market, I think you need to be clear in what sector do you want to operate. What are the strengths that you want to build and what are the strengths you don't want to build? And then what are the strengths that you want the partner to bring? And only once you have a clarity to bring that, what I call the ecosystem together, you'll create a business that we've been able to create over the last 14 odd months. To just give you a scale currently of Global Bees, we run about 50 odd brands in the country today. We've just started our Middle Eastern operations, and we will soon be going to the other parts of the world where we're setting up our own supply chain and operations as well. And from there, we continue to hope that we will be able to support the entrepreneurs, support the ecosystem, support the manufacturing in this country to be able to take the brands outside with providing them the ecosystem and necessary, not just advisory. I think we go one step forward. We actually take the heavy lifting of the operations. And we believe that over the next 20, 30 years, somebody asked me this question earlier today, saying, what is one vision that you would have, 2047 vision for Global Bees? And I said, I don't know about Global Bees, but for India, I would say India should have at least 10 brands in Global 500. I'm talking about consumer brands. In the Global 500, today we talk about very few Indian origination brands which are into Global 500s. I don't know if there are any in consumer, but we've been consumer of global brands, and I think it's an era that we are sitting on, and in a small way, we want to build that ecosystem that Indian brands, Indian products, Indian manufacturing, Indian innovation can be shown across the world by bringing the power of innovation and bringing the power of execution. I think it's time that India moves away from just being a service provider to global companies, but become a global company, and that's really the vision. that we've created the Global Bees ecosystem for. And I hope to have support for the entrepreneurs. It's been a real learning and real humbling experience over the past 14 months. We met over 2,500 entrepreneurs during this journey. And I think the potential that we saw in that and continued potential for the next 20, 30 years, I think it's just an amazing place. And that's one vision that Global Bees operates from. So that's literally it from my side. I'm happy to take any questions, but that's literally what House of Brands is, and that's been our philosophy on how we've done it. And we'll make mistakes on the way, but I think it's a great support we've received from the ecosystem. I'm sure I'll receive support from all of you out here, and we'll build this together. Thank you.